Good morning, everyone. It's Steve Colgate and Doris Colgate, and we're doing our next to last dockside chats with Steve. So last time Steve talked about the Colgate 26 and the virtues of it and why we spent the money and did all the lines and came up with this boat, which debuted in 1997, and it's just a great boat. But there was a situation that occurred in Chicago that we want to tell you about that really demonstrates why it's one of the most special boats to learn on and then to continue sailing on. So Steve, I'm going to give you the stage.
Okay, thank you, Doris. Well, we in Chicago had a small course, one with the Colgate 26 down in Jackson Park, and we had a 3-day course. The second day they went into man overboard drills, and the third day the instructor would go out for an hour with them, make sure they're comfortable, and then he'd go back in, they'd sail back in, and they'd go on a solo without the instructor, putting into motion what they had learned. In this case, it was this group here, and their names were Randy Jones, Pat Papandrea, and Clay Rivers. And I'm on the left, and there is Janet Baxter, the Vice President of U.S. Sailing, on the right there.
She was president.
She was Vice President then, she became President. Okay, I'm corrected, she was President then, all right. When they received the rescue medal. And this is how they got the rescue medal. They went on their solo without the instructor, and they sailed from Jackson Park downtown to one of the harbors downtown in Chicago, and they sailed back. It was blowing 15 to 18, gusting to 18, fairly strong seas, about 4 feet seas. And when they returned to close to the harbor, Jackson Harbor, they saw people on the shore waving at them and pointing. And so they looked at where they were pointing, and it turns out that some two persons were on a what do you call them? Jet ski. And they had lost control of the jet ski. It had fallen off, and it washed away from them, and they swam to a buoy that was about 200 yards offshore, and clung to the buoy. They had a very thin wetsuit. It was 65-degree water, 70-degree air, and it was early June in 1999, and they received the rescue medal in 2000. They did everything right. They lowered the sails, they started the engine, they went up to the buoy. One of them held onto the buoy, the other turned off the engine. Then the third person took the hand of the lady and brought her back and pulled her aboard the lower transom that we had designed into the Colgate 26. And that was one of the reasons we designed it in there, was for ease to get aboard, and also for kids to sit there and get their feet in the water and so on, and plus, the self-bailing features of it. So they pulled her aboard. Then they went back and they got the guy and took him back, and he weighed about 250 pounds, and pulled him aboard. They were in the first stages of hypothermia. They were not able to help themselves to get aboard, and these brand new sailors did an amazing job and pulled them aboard, and they said they couldn't ever have gotten them over the rail because this guy was too heavy and too weak from hypothermia, but they got them aboard. So they received the U.S. Sailing Rescue Medal. The U.S. Sailing is a national governing body of sailing, which we have worked with for years and years, and I highly recommend that all sailors become members of U.S. Sailing. and they received the rescue medal for that feat, and it really makes me proud that our instruction was good enough for them to make this happen and save 2 people. Thank you very much.
Okay, so I'm going to just add one little thing to this because Steve said they took a small course. Well, the 3-day course is intense. I mean, it's seriously intense. And we cover everything that you need to know in order to get your basic keelboat certification. So I don't call them small courses.
Well,
but
I think it was a 1-boat branch, a 2-boat branch.
yes,
It was
yes.
a small
No,
branch
but
for us.
we had a sailing club there as well. It was pretty popular, but we've learned through the years that branches that we have to close down and reopen are kind of not our business
Viable.
model. So anyway, so we've got one more of these to do, and it's going to be a wrap up, and it's going to be a lot of fun because as we've been working on the biography of the book that's going to come out about Steve and me and Offshore Sailing School next fall, we've been relearning a lot about what we did in the 57 years of running and developing Offshore Sailing School. What a ride it's been.
It's been amazing.
So stay tuned, don't go away, because the next one and the last one is going to have lots of surprises. Bye.